but it can buy me a boat. It can buy me a truck to pull it. It can buy me a Yeti 110 house down with some silver bullets. Yeah, and I know what they say, money can't buy everything. Well, maybe so, but it can buy me a boat.
I love that song. Welcome to the Boat Boss, where we sit down each week and we talk to the top executives from around the world about living, working, and playing on the water. My name is Kim Swears, and I've been a boat boss in South Florida for the last 20 years as one of the owner-operators of FB Marine Group, one of America's top 100 dealerships. It's raining outside. We normally shoot outside, but we brought the show inside, but we will not disappoint. We have a phenomenal guest this week. I'm beyond excited to welcome, I guess, what I consider the Don King of the boat business. He puts on, as Don King is to boxing and to Las Vegas, Andrew Doole is to the boat business and to boat shows around America. He is the president of the U.S. boat shows for Informa. Welcome to the Boat Boss.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Well, thanks for having us. Thanks for being on our show, Andrew. And thanks for putting on a phenomenal show last week, the Fort Lauderdale National Boat Show. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. I want to talk about who you are. I mean, I know about you. I've known you for 20 years. I've worked your show for the last 20 years, but I don't know much about you. Tell me about yourself. You come from London, right?
Yes, from a town outside London. I immigrated here in 1981. I have a daughter born here, so I've been here ever since then. I started with show management then in 1982, and I've been with that company ever since. So it's been a long journey in the boat show business and the show business.
Well, so what do you do? I know boats are you always on boats. You're either on top of them or in them or talking about them. What are you doing for fun when you're not doing boats?
Boats. I've got 2 commercial fishing boats with my son-in-law. So, we've got, actually right at the moment, we've got one in Louisiana that's dodging hurricanes, and one up in Daytona that's dodging a tropical storm. And then I've got a flats boat that I backcountry fish here at home.
Wow, I would have never, that was not in your bio. That's phenomenal. Good for you. Not too many people are professional fishermen on their spare time. So let's talk about the Super Bowl of the boat business that obviously just happened. $1.3 billion in revenue. Is that correct?
Correct.
So now let's talk about the boat show. 61 years.
61 years. I've been associated for the last 36, something like that. So we've grown the Fort Lauderdale show from a very small show at BMR, where it was really just a local show, to a national show and then international, and obviously now the largest boat show in the world with 7 locations. I think we had a challenging time this year. This is probably the most challenging show to do since we had Hurricane Wilma, where we had the show put together, and then Wilma came and destroyed most of the infrastructure, and we took a week or 10 days to put it back together again and then reopen.
Well, I want to do a quick video to show how awesome the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show is, and it was actually part of the NBC trailer for the show that you did that aired on last Sunday. So I'm going to roll the film. It's going to show how awesome the boat show is, because not everyone really has been to the show. So let's do a highlight of what the show looked like this year.
The picturesque skyline of Fort Lauderdale, Florida offers some amazing views. Mix in the beautiful waterways and sandy beaches. The only thing missing is a way to ride the waves. For the past 61 years, boating manufacturers from around the world have brought their best and brightest to southern Florida for display. Spanning some 6 miles of floating docks, you'll find over 500 vessels to enjoy the good life. NBC Sports welcomes you to the 61st Annual Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, presented by Lexus and Visit Lauderdale.
That is such an awesome video. I love it. It never gets old seeing that but so much goes into putting on a show like that. Obviously, when I show up and I'm an exhibitor and I show up and you've done all that work, and when we were in the waiting room, we were talking about how your team is going through so much, putting the show together during bad weather and now taking it down during a tropical storm that's coming up expected to hit Florida. What's involved with putting a show on like this?
There's obviously a lot of pre-planning and there's a lot of equipment. It's not just doing a show inside a convention center. It's we've got 7 miles of floating dock to launch. We've got 20-something miles of cable to power all the boats. I mean, every dock we have has power, water, so it's not just putting boats in slips. There's a huge amount of equipment and a lot of coordination between the teams.
So now let's enter into how many days does it take to set up? Let's talk about that first.
We're probably a month before the show starts.
And breakdown?
Breakdown will be 2 weeks.
Okay, well you're about a week away.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're hustling with the tropical storm coming up. So let's talk about the Mission Impossible. When COVID hit, I want to know what was inside of your brain when COVID hit and they were shutting everything down and you were already in boat show prep mode. What were you thinking? I know I was sitting on side of eating popcorn, like that Jon Stewart gif. I think all of us were just sitting back and just wondering how this was going to play out. So walk us through how you said, let's do this. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make this, we're going to go through.
Well, we've done the Miami show, so we've done the Miami Yacht Show, and then we were expecting to be able to do Palm Beach, and obviously things were getting steadily worse during that period. We mobilized for Palm Beach and got the show almost 50% built before the governor and the mayor of West Palm Beach said that we're really going to have to call the event and not go forward. Yeah. So we lost a lot of money doing that, but regrouped. And at that point, started looking forward to Lauderdale and how can we do a show in COVID times? What are we going to have to do? And Informa came out with their All Secure program, which is obviously the hygiene, the cleaning, the social distancing, and all of the protocols that they asked us to do. The GBAC standards, which is the Global Virus Council, which advises on trade shows throughout the U.S. And then we also worked with City of Fort Lauderdale and Broward County on what regulations, rules that they wanted to, involved in it. So Rob Correa on our team, our operations vice president, actually put a 62-page operational plan together.
Wow.
So really that covered everything, the whole entire operation, what we were going to do from, the cleaning, to taking the temperatures, taking people out if they were running a temperature, face mask protocols throughout the show, concession areas. It was a real A to Z of everything we were going to have to do to run an event. And as you know, there's been very few events run. Some car auctions, Sturgis, but so far we're as a consumer event in Florida, the only major event that's happened this year since March, and we're the only show. And Informa has almost 200 shows in the U.S. We're the only one that's run since February.
That's
the
fantastic.
only other shows they've had run. Excuse me. The only other shows they've had run are in Asia. So
Wow.
Worldwide, it was we're an anomaly, which is, I guess that's good.
So it's got to make you feel really proud that you were able to pull this off in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, I have to say I'm quite impressed.
It's a huge team effort, and then it's our team, and then it's working with the Marine Industry Association, Phil, and everybody else over there. City of Fort Lauderdale was very supportive throughout. Dean and Chris Lagerbloom and the city, unbelievable. Working with the county to get through everything they've got, the hotel association, the restaurant, all those people that were so supportive, and working with us in the county to get the show on.
Well, hats off to you guys. I actually was there all 5 days. I was there during setup, and I want to talk about the 10 commitments. I saw them, I lived them. What are some of the things that changed this year at the boat show?
Certainly adding more entrances, adding more buses, the cleaning of the water taxis, the cleaning of the buses, the cleaning. You saw that the crews around cleaning handrails on cocktail barges, and no bars at cocktail barges. So it's just waitress service. All those different protocols, as well as some of the things that will probably live on. Past COVID would be the digital ticketing, digital credentials. Some of which this just forced us into the next era, if you will, to how can we go touchless with as many things as possible. Get rid of a paper program. The program's online or it's on the app. Just moving the show forward.
No, definitely, they say there's a silver lining in everything. And I saw the silver lining, like those, everything from the frictionless, ticket, there's no tickets. That made it so much easier as an exhibitor, from having the personal sanitation, everywhere, obviously the PPE, the masks, the people would actually come up to you and say, please put your mask on. Hats off to you guys and your team for really doing a stand-up job and making sure that the show was safe for the exhibitors and the guests and the crew and all alike. Let's talk about the GBAC. Is that something that you think will set the standard, not just for boat shows, but for conventions and special events, moving forward?
No, I mean, once, I think with Informa, the rest of our shows, and they've got some enormous shows, will probably start up in the second quarter of this year. But it will follow GBAC regulations, which is probably no aisle carpet, the cleaning of the show at night. It's a lot of things we did was, get rid of all the nighttime entertainment, spend all that time on sanitizing the show. Try and get everybody out of there and clean the show site as thoroughly as we could each night. But there will be the standard show for the near future.
Well, great. Well, hopefully Informa will be able to influence the Super Bowl so that we can obviously have a nice event in Tampa in February. So let's talk about Miami. Miami's canceled, correct?
Miami International Boat Show's canceled. We've postponed. So, as they've canceled, we're closely tied with them, but we're still assessing if we can run at a later date with Miami and be successful. We're polling exhibitors. We're working with City of Miami and everybody else to see if that's a potential, is to just run the show a little later.
All right. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that show goes on. St. Petersburg. That's your next one in January.
Right.
What's the status of that show?
We're working with City of St. Pete. City of St. Pete obviously had the Grand Prix, I think, about a week before the Fort Lauderdale boat show. So they ran the Grand Prix with the public there. They did the pier. They launched their new pier. I think that was in August, September. So, they've done some public events there. The boat show is a large event for that community, for the Tampa Bay area. So, we're an outside event just like this. So mostly the events outside, not inside. So it's easier for just everybody wear their mask and we can have a safe event.
All right, great. Well, I was recently in St. Pete, Tampa area, and they are definitely business almost as usual. Not quite, but they are definitely out there and trying to have that city recover. So wish you the best in all your efforts there. So let's talk about the Best in Show. I thought that was one of the greatest things that you guys put together. How long have you been doing that with NBC Sports?
This was the third year. So it's the third year. And
so tell us about, you had some really exciting judges this year.
Yeah, we had John Staluppi, I've known for probably 25, 30 years. He's a serial offender. He's had so many boats, and then actually bought 2 boats at the show. So he can't help himself, Anyway, we had him. We had Craig Jackson. We had the chairman of the Panthers, Ricky Carmichael, the autocross rider. So we had a diverse group. John's obviously the most knowledgeable boater out of the group. Craig was actually using that time because he's in the market for a boat. So he was learning from John as they went through the boats. And, John's had a lot of boats, so he knows his stuff. And all different sizes too, so not just super yachts.
Yeah, it was really great. You had like Ocean Alexander, you had Intrepid, you had Viking, you had Invincible. It was just really good. Where can people see that? Because I know where it was at. Where do they go to see that show?
I think that's on YouTube at the moment. So you should be able to go to YouTube and find that show. And we tried to, out of all the people that submitted boats, we, as it was being part of the selection committee, we tried to come up with a diverse group of boats as we could.
Yeah, yeah.
To
All right. Well, I know who won, and I know you know who won, but we're not going to tell. It'll be a secret.
Okay,
So I
yeah.
highly recommend that everyone tune in to NBC Sports on YouTube and check out the 2020 Fort Lauderdale International Best in Show. It was a really great show. So let's talk about your secret to your success. All right, what makes Andrew so successful day in and day out? Any secrets you can share with us?
I think try and treat people like you'd like to be treated. Treat people with respect, listen to them, and you have a great team around you in your company. And most of our team has been together, 15, 20 years. And
Wow.
we've got obviously we're trying to bring young people on, so we've got a lot of younger people too. But,
Sure.
we've got a very seasoned team. And I think that helps with, when things, you've got a challenging show, you've got an experienced team.
Well, they say you're nothing without your people, and you are by far very blessed to have the best people working for you. I know a lot of them. I work with them each year, multiple times a year, because of the boat shows. So shout out to your team. So here we are. We're coming into 2021. And I wish you and your team only the best of success. And we're going to watch on the sidelines and hope and pray that we get more boat shows. And with your leadership, I'm confident that we will. So anything else you'd like to add before we close out? I know we got to get back to the hustle, and you have to break down the boat show.
No, we're looking forward to not just St. Petersburg, that we're still looking forward to running Palm Beach in March. And, we're working with the city of West Palm Beach. They're great to work with. So we're confident that all things being equal, that show will run in March. And I know they missed us being there this year. And
Yes.
I think everybody up in Palm Beach missed that event, and Palm Beach is growing like crazy. So we're excited to be in Palm Beach also.
Oh, great. Well, 2020 will be an exciting year for you, for all of us. It's been a great time for the boat business. If I can give anyone any words of advice, invest in your dreams, invest in a boat, go after it, and get on the water, because there's nothing like life on the water. Right, Andrew?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on The Boat Boss. I'm going to circle back around with you next year, and we're going to have a recap on some of your other shows. But for now, thanks for your time, Andrew, and have an
Thank you.
epic year, the rest of the year, and make it a great day, everybody.
Thank
Boat
you.
Boss signing out. Take care.